Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to City Skylines, where we're doing as you can tell, a bit of a time lapse. Well, not time lapse, just sped up footage. I hate when people call this a time lapse, because it's not a time lapse. Time lapse is when you take little individual pictures and then string them together to make a sort of an animation. Anyway, sped up the footage. Gonna be looking at about an hour and a half worth of game time in about 20 minutes. There was some things I wanted to get done. I wanted to get the population up to see if we couldn't get to the next population level. Plus, I wanted to do the beginnings of a farm. All in, it would have taken like 3 videos to get what I accomplished here in this 20 minutes. Towards the end of this video, there will be just regular gameplay because there's going to be a few things that we need to fix that popped up while I was recording all of this. So if you're not a fan of the super fast footage, fret not. Regular footage is coming. You can fast forward to about the 21-ish minute mark if you like to skip all this. There will be a little bit of just kind of like we saw there for a few seconds, just kind of watching while things happen. Basically, I wanted to get this little section filled out with some taller buildings right up against the mountain. So everything that's going in here is high density, and then eventually I remember, oh yeah, I've got a building height restriction on, like citywide, and so I took this out of the zone that it was in, and I'm pretty sure that allows them to build high rises, because actually I know it does, because some popped up. And then I wanted a bus route in that section, and then one that connected over by the university, and then back to that bus route, because they can just switch buses that way. There we go. There's where I remembered that high-rise band was on. Managed to mess it up, and then I managed to mess it up a little bit again. Already getting a ton of traffic in this area, and we will deal with that during the time lapse. There's going to be a couple other traffic issues that we're going to have to take care of. Putting in a little bit of a walkway just to help people get around from the different sections so they don't have to rely on just that bus line. They can kind of walk where they need to go. But of course, it wouldn't snap in where I really wanted. So I had to turn snapping off and use move it and slide them into place. But it just helps make sure that everybody can get where they need to go. So I started out with just a little bit of residential and a lot of commercial and offices just to see how that would go. The commercial upgraded really fast. I wish I had some high rises for commercial, though. It seems as though they don't build too many. Residential has no problem, but commercial seems like it wants to stick to just the European style. I think what I'm going to have to do is fix the theme manager thing that I'm using. I think that's a big part of the problem. Don't know why I didn't zone along this road originally. Came back and finally remembered, oh yeah, I can zone in as long as it's not right up against the roundabout. It'll be fine. And so started that. Wanted a little bit more commercial here in that corner just so they had some shops they could go to. You can see the traffic is backing up quite a bit coming off of the highway. Of course, this isn't a roundabout. I wanted to do kind of an old school interchange. And when I first put this in, I wasn't planning on having such a dense area over here. And then I kind of changed my mind about what I wanted. And this intersection doesn't really keep up. We might have to adjust this to, I don't know, something else. I just don't know what that something else might be. I could maybe take out the bridge that goes over and turn this into kind of like a roundabout of sorts, even though it doesn't connect down at the bottom. I don't know how it'll work. Here I'm just making sure that the lanes are set up properly, so that traffic going straight through is not getting stuck behind traffic that wants to turn, because that does happen quite a bit. And for now, it is starting to flow, though this intersection does remain rather tough. There was a car stuck there, so I just deleted it. Telling these guys just to go on through. I will eventually set up a yield to where this is considered a main road. I don't remember exactly when I did it, though. Getting a bit of problems over in the commercial, the low density commercial for uneducated workers. Of course, all these people just moved in, so of course they're not educated yet. They haven't had a chance to go to any school. A lot of the traffic that's coming in right now are just the new citizens moving in as things upgrade. What you may notice is one of the things we're going to address here in a little bit is the fact that there's a death wave happening. Already here in the new area, there's dead people. How that happened so fast, I don't know. I'm going to have to check to make sure that the health is up and that I'm not poisoning the water. I don't think I'm poisoning the water because I don't ever see like a sick citizen report. And there I was just checking to make sure that people were really going to school and that we had the capacity. But then I remembered, oh yeah, this is a brand new area. Of course they're not able to have education yet. That makes total sense. And then that caps off all the zoning over there, and I'll just kind of let it run. And the rest of this footage, we're going to focus on a farming area. I wanted to get it done. Like, well, not done. I'm going to add more to it. But I wanted to get it up to the 5-star so that it would be all ready to go and we wouldn't have to wait on it. But it is eventually going to fill up both of these big areas over here that you're looking at now. But the one on the left is the one I focus on for the most part. And decided not to do another roundabout. Just decided to do a lane straight in. And then put the main building just right there off the main road. It doesn't have cars that turn in. And then I wanted to start planning out how I wanted to space everything. Because, you know, you do want things kind of spread out in any of the industrial areas because they get a lot of trucks. So I was just kind of thinking about it. By the way, the sound and video is a little out of sync in this sped up footage. I don't really know why that is. It's kind of weird. Forgot plumbing. Managed to get a plumbing. Got their power coming in through some underground power lines. And then I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on it and see how it's doing in terms of getting production going. And it comes up pretty quick, actually. Need some storage, but I, again, don't want to spam a ton of it out. Simply because trucks. Lots and lots of trucks. You want to have some good gaps between all those things so that you don't get overrun with traffic. And you'll see here as this builds up some of the ways that I am dealing with the traffic. And it's only half built. Again, this is going to go all the way over to the other side. And then it's going to connect to a small town area that is going to be just a little bit, I guess, north of where we are right now. Wanted to get people a way to walk over to the farm area if they wanted to work there. And then I realized that a lot of this area that I've built up doesn't have walkways for people to get around. It's from road to road, street to street. So went through and put those in real quick. Just wherever they were needed. It wasn't too many that needed it. Turned anarchy on so I could squeeze some in some really tight places without demolishing buildings. And for the most part, that's got it. This bridge does wind up getting used a little bit. Which I was kind of impressed by, that we had people walking. There we go. Already got up to level 2. So that we can get the next bunch of buildings. And I want to have the first group of roads really close together. And then as it spans out from this main central road, the intersections will get farther and farther apart because the buildings and the like the crop fields and the animal pastures and stuff like that get farther and farther and farther apart. But you can see it's coming along really well. Not having any problem with workers like I do with like in the live stream city that I work on. By the way, that live stream, the Twitch archives, it's a completely different city. And it's already, the population of it is like 190,000 people. It is a massive, sprawling metropolis. I'm really proud of how it's turning out. So, you know, even if you don't watch all 4 hours of those, you can check in now and then to see how the progress is coming along. Because it is a really freaking cool city. It really is. It needs a name, though. So does this one. You guys still haven't named this city. I want comments. Let me know, what should we name this city? Look at that death wave that we're going to have to deal with. I don't do any... I kind of check health at one point just to see, you know, what coverage is like and how many dead people there are. But I don't actually go through and do anything about it, and figure I'd leave that for the time lapse. The bridge looks a little awkward just because... it's the roads are a little farther away, but I'm okay with an awkward looking bridge. It'll be fine. So you can see there, we've already got enough workers. We're just waiting on output, which, boom, there it is. So that gets us up to the next level of buildings. And so I'm just going to keep getting bigger and bigger buildings, or bigger and bigger fields, farther and farther away from the main area. And I will even do some, like there, I was seeing how far away that is because I want to put them back to back. And there we go. Got another connection to the road, and I'm going to throw another connection to that road. So now they've got 3 ways in and out of here. By the time I'm done, I think they have 5 different intersections that they can come through to get in and out of this farming area, so that we're not throwing all the trucks just into one intersection. Just really trying to avoid any traffic problems. Trying to figure out where I wanted these next guys to go. Decided I will go ahead for the time being, do another short section here, and then do the animal pastures back here as well. And those fit in quite nicely. It is going to block a road if I want to put it through there, but I don't think I'm actually going to wind up doing that. I think it'll be fine with that. Decided to throw in some barns for, you know, good old farming ambiance. And we've got a nice long road down here, so the trucks shouldn't be a problem. There's a lot of traffic in and out of here, but because they've got so many ways to go, they aren't having any issues getting around, and that will just continue throughout. Was just looking because there was a little bit of traffic building up there, and I realized that it hadn't set up the intersection to keep the main road going, and then again, we want to make sure that it can flow through there. And that's when I came over here and realized there is a lot of traffic. Started looking for the problems that were causing it. Found out there's a road going through the middle of the roundabout. I don't know when I did that, but whatever. Starting to get some high rises in there, and the farming area continues to do really well. In fact, it just upgraded again. Throwing in a recycling center, it won't cause any pollution here by the farm. So since we did have some things on this end of town having problems with garbage collection, I thought it'd be a good idea to go ahead and get that taken care of. I may put some wind out here, some wind power out here as well, because our power output is starting to get really close. And I just think it looks cool to have windmills out by the farming areas. And here I was just kind of keeping an eye on it. We've already got more than enough workers, but we're only about a third of the way to where we needed to be. And I also wanted to check to make sure that our freight station was still working really well. Not a whole lot of vehicles coming in and out, which means that they're supplying the commercial in town and that they're not importing a whole lot. So it's a good balance. And we've got a pretty good balance there in the farm as well. They are exporting quite a bit, but not so much that I need to worry about it. So this is where I had to start doing some surgery on the town, because I thought maybe a traffic light would help here. Maybe if I prevented these U-turns, but then I also realized that they're treating this smaller road that goes all the way through as a main road, and it has way too much traffic on it to be 2 lanes. So we're going to deal with that. I was just trying to watch it for a minute, see where all the traffic was going, just to get an idea of what type of changes really need to be made here before I started actually putting anything in. So that's why I'm just kind of staring at it here for a second, because I just wanted to see where are they going, what are they doing, what's causing the problems. Can this be fixed without yet another roundabout? Ultimately decided that we needed to get the pedestrians off the road because they were causing the cars to slow down. So I built that really long tunnel, and then I'm going to turn off pedestrians crossing the main road. Anybody who wants to go across can use that tunnel. It's not so far that they won't use it. It's not going to slow anybody down at all. It's just 2 blocks, so they'll use that just fine. The scary, rapey tunnel. There we go. Upgrading that to a 4-lane because it just had to be done. And then coming down here and looking, making sure that the lanes are set up properly, realizing quickly that, yeah, this is going to have to be a roundabout. Like at this point, I had already decided, yeah, going to have to put a roundabout in here. I was just trying to figure out the best way to get it going, since my 2 main roads don't connect up in the place where I want the roundabout. Moving these guys over because I want to bring another street in, because we've got a couple intersections that are just a little too close to each other. So I wanted to get those taken care of. So I'm going to make it so that this one no longer connects to the main road, bringing it back up so that the buildings that are there can still be there. And just put in a path using Anarchy. It's under the street, but they can use it. So this is where the roundabout comes in. Don't need a very big one. I just need it to keep the traffic flowing. All those buildings disappear, and then we're going to have to de-zone a little bit as well. But just setting up the roundabout properly just to see how it flows. And that's when I realized that, yeah, the other main road coming out of the university section is just a half a block away now. So I'm kind of looking at it, seeing how can I fix that? How can I make it better? Because we have this one little stub of a road that just comes off to the side. So I wanted to connect that, but I've got the Aquatic Center in the way. But I've got to deal with this because this is just, it's too much traffic coming in and getting in the way of cars coming on and off the roundabout when they turn left across traffic. And you can see how far it's backing up there now, like 3 whole blocks. So I figure out what these buildings are, see what we can get rid of, and start moving things around. And I just remembered I didn't put those back in. So note to self, check university beautiness score. Check trade school attractiveness. We'll do that at the very beginning of when the time lapse is over here. And just running the paths with Anarchy turned on. I mean, they're not really going through a building, even though the outline of the building is there. Just wanted to make sure it could go through. Upgrading that to 4 lanes, then bringing it on down so I can get this connect up nicely. And then I realized I used the wrong road. I upgraded at some point. Yeah, right there. Wanted it to match. And then I got rid of that, bring it right up to the edge of where it was so buildings can still be there and not get dezoned. And then I just have to fill the zoning back in, but we don't want it right up against that roundabout. So that caused a little bit of traffic on that road that was connected, but it clears up pretty quick. The only area that has a problem now is that 4-way intersection there. But it does eventually clear out because there's not so much traffic coming off that little stub of a road. And in fact, I may downgrade that one to just a 2-lane right there that doesn't connect anymore. I realized there was some places that weren't building and didn't notice when I was in zoning a minute ago that we had some problems. While we were doing this, though, the farm upgraded. So we should be ready to go back over to the farm to wrap up the last few minutes of the time lapse. Indeed, here we are. Just taking a look at it. It's 5 stars, so we have everything unlocked now. I don't think I put the bakery in. I wanted to wait. Turned Anarchy on so I could just squeeze that animal pasture in. Because it, you know, with a little adjustment can go there. Don't usually like having those right on the corner like that, but I think that one will be okay. I don't think it'll cause too many problems. And then just looking at all the other buildings that we unlocked, that guy's huge, the freaking slaughterhouse. But I do eventually wind up with a place for him to go. Was hoping to squeeze it in back there, but no go. We are going to have another road back there with, there we go, we got up to the next level of city. And then I was trying to figure out what's going on here. Why are these guys stopping? I mean, because I was like, okay, well, maybe the lanes are set up wrong. No, it's not lanes that's set up wrong because they're still doing it. They're still stopping. And they are allowed to carry through. So maybe some of them are just bugged out. I wind up deleting that truck. And just couldn't figure it out. I was like, what's going on? Brought this up and then messed it up again. Didn't realize it. Finally fixed it, and now it's flowing fine. But, yeah. So that is that road. Bringing this on down to check out my spacing that I need for these. I almost get it right. I mean, you're going to see me counting the actual number of squares that are in this intersection here. Like, there we go. That's me counting to see how far the road needs to go. But then realizing it needs to go out a little bit farther than that. Didn't get it quite right on the first try. So I had to come back and do an adjustment. I want these just to butt right up against one another. So figured out it's probably about 2 more squares down I need to come. and then test it. It fits fine, so then I can put that road back in. It's a little close to that other intersection, but I don't think it'll be a problem. Connecting this up to the roundabout, it did a really weird thing with the ground, and so I tried doing the smooth sloping tool, and it did nothing, so I raised that up, and then that just looks weird. So I put the slope back on again, and it just puts it down like that. So I was like, whatever, we'll leave it like that, and just make that a really scary hill. And then that gets all of that in. They need water out here. And they only need it from the front part of the fields, by the way. And then the final thing I want to get in here is the slaughterhouse. And I figured just so the slaughterhouse doesn't complain, we probably ought to have some sort of animal pasture out there. I stare at it for a minute before realizing that. Pretty sure I put it in. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, those are large fruit fields, and I wanted crop fields. Yeah, I know what I'm deleting this now. Because I was like, wait, why are those trees? And there we go. Large animal pasture. And that about hits it for the time lapse. So we will move in to some live footage. And here we are over at the campus. Sure enough, we lost some attractiveness. So we need to throw a couple buildings back in. I don't really remember what they were is the problem. Oh, it's not a university, it's a trade school. Yeah, so that's the problem. I don't remember what they were. I think it was like a statue. Which one are you? You're a statue number 2. What was, I don't want to, and then that's a statue 1. No, it's a statue 1. I don't want a bunch of statues. Whoops. I know one of them was like a book club, so let's find the book club. I just remember having seen that during the time lapse, so I'm gonna find the book club. Book club is that little guy. Where can we get you to go in? You'll fit in nicely right by the statue. What did that do for my attractiveness? Almost there, so I just need like one more building here. We'll throw in not a fountain. Let's throw in a beach volleyball club. Why not? Right there. And then that should get us back. Yeah, right where we need to be. So that's good. And then I want to look to see, do we still have a death wave? And no. I don't know where it went. It was there when we left the game, and now it's fine. We don't have a death wave. We do, however, have a full cemetery now, which I guess makes sense if they finally cleaned up from that death wave. Do we have the capacity, though, is the question. 6 citizens, that's sick. Death care, there's 113, 945 capacity. Ooh, all of our cemeteries are full. I like having some cemeteries around. I just think they look nice. You know, some people want to bury their dead, not burn them, so, you know, we'll allow them that. It looks like we've got a little bit of traffic right here, but it seems that it works itself out. The big problem is that the trolley goes right up and through the middle of that, and there's not so much I can really do about that. I guess I could use Anarchy to make a ramp here. In fact, that's not a bad idea. Let's change this to just a regular 2-lane road with a divider here. Like, ooh, this is gonna be tight though, because it's like right there. Yeah, see, and then this side's not as big of a deal. Let's see if I can make it work. I don't think I can. But we'll try. I know you're like, wow, way to have faith in yourself there, Brendan. I know. So see, like here, you just want the tram track, and you want it up. That part, not a big deal. Oh, we don't need it 18 meters in the air, for God's sakes. Like, just to there. And then turn Anarchy on and see if it will let me bring it to there. Anarchy was on. Like, can I connect this to right there? Where's the end node here? I don't think I have snapping on. I do have snapping on. Toggle node snapping. There we go. So that's the end right there. Yeah, see, cars wouldn't be able to get under that realistically at all. I mean, it connects. Obviously, it connects. It does a weird thing in the ground, but I don't like it at all. So we'll just have to leave it like that and just deal with the fact that the trolley gets in the way. Not much more I can really do about it. I want tram track, and I want to bring it straight back through here. Why you want to be in the air, though? Oh, well, whatever. Don't care. It's fine. Because it's at -2 meters. Let's put you on the ground, can we? Can we do that? There you go. That looks better. Yeah, that looks much better. Okay, so, mainly I just wanted to look at traffic, but I now need to make sure that this roundabout's still functioning properly, since I did all of that. Yeah, see, like, I want the trolley to yield, coming in through there, so that nobody else, or so that the cars don't have to yield to the trolley, and that's all set up properly. Good. Ton of traffic coming down this way, but again, it moves. So, got a lot of parked cars, but that's okay. We've also got a lot of zoned buildings there, so whatever. I don't care. So that gets that taken care of, and then I wanted to check and see how we're doing on everybody getting upgraded over here. Uh-oh. A 9.7 meteor.
Should seek shelter immediately if any is available.
Okay, good. It's just out here in the middle of nowhere. Boom. So, whatever. We don't care about that because
a meteor strike has occurred. Avoid the impact.
That just made the mountain have a slightly different contour there. So, I mean, that was miles from the city. So, that's fine. That's just fine. So, I want to get the farm to come over here as well. But I really don't know how exactly I want to go about that. Like, I know I want a bridge coming over here, but I don't want a four-way intersection here, here, or here. So I could do like a bridge here, but then that I can't connect right here to the main road. So what I may do is just kind of do where these roads are. Why are we at -2 meters? Why is everything going in steps of 2 meters? That's why. So like if we do a road here, and then do another road here, just coming out for now, and then bringing this road, because what I want to do is have this come right behind these guys. So I do eventually want to have some stuff back here. But I don't want this to connect to this road. They've got enough ways in and out, so they're fine. Can we get that? Nope. It's got to be that one. Okay. So that's going to come all the way down, and we can put something there if we want. And then this guy is going to come over to here, about halfway here. Going to become a bridge. 8 meters should do it, but that's slope too steep. Okay. We will fix. Actually, let's get rid of it all and bring it to here then, and then let's do this. This makes this a little bit easier to do it this way. Come out 2 spaces. Oh, that's why it's saying space already occupied. I had it in the air. Okay, there we go. And then connect there. And then we know that it costs 740 to get down. So put it on the ground, go 740. That bridge is now identical. And then I might be able to do the same thing here. But yeah, we'll just have to move the recycling center or whatever that is. I don't even know. It is the recycling center. Ooh, that's a really shiny road. Let's not look at it like that, because that was painful to my eyes. So 8 meters was enough. This one a little trickier. It's 540 that time. Get the bridges to look about the same. Can't get them exact, but get them close. Is that gonna let all those cars under? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. And then we can figure out grid and everything over here. We're not really going to work on the farm. I just wanted to look at traffic. And while I was working on traffic, kind of wanted to think about how are they going to get in and out of this section of the farm. So what is our traffic? 75%, which is better than when I started the quick footage earlier. Looks like we do have a bit of an issue with people getting in here. Whoa, whoa. No, auto save kicked in. Oh, we have a traffic light here. Oh, we don't need a traffic light here. No, just get rid of that. Goodbye. Oh, hit the right button, Brendan. Goodbye. And then I want to make these lanes here dedicated left, and this one dedicated right. So that way, anybody wanting to go straight through will get in this outside lane. Yeah, that instantly fixed that. Getting on the roundabout seems like they're having a little bit of trouble. I need to make him pick lanes, because, like, this guy here, he's just sitting there because he wants in that other lane. There he goes. He finally cut somebody off. That's clearing up, though. Excuse me. It's okay. I guess it's not that big of a deal. So that brought us up to 77%. Just want to look for any other little hot spots real quick. This gets really busy back here, and I think the big part of it is I need to not allow left-hand turns here. I think I need to make them all go to the right. So we're going to do that. That is right-hand turns only from now on. May take a second for traffic to kind of figure itself out, but it should eventually work out. The only thing I'm worried about are the buses. If the buses were going to turn left out of there, I may have just broken a bus route, but they'll figure out their route eventually. So that should help this because they have this second lane to go on. And this is a right only, so they should... Well, people are crowding over, though. They're picking their lane in the intersection. Well, we'll just keep an eye on that one. It's going to take a minute for all the traffic there to adjust, though. I'll say I probably hurt my numbers, and yeah, it did. But that should come back up. This is better, but it's still backing up really bad. A big part of the problem, it looks like, is lane switching. Which doesn't make a lot of sense, because you would think that they would just get in the lane they would want. Because that's straight through, that's straight through. This is right only, that's left only. They cannot go straight across. It's just a lot of traffic coming into this area. And I disabled originally left-hand turns here, but then I turned them back on. Thing is, not many people are coming down here and using this. They're all wanting to come in up here. Which in turn puts a lot of traffic on this intersection as well. Like, a lot. You can see it's a bit hectic. We could do with a traffic light there. Sometimes a traffic light's not a bad idea. So, we'll put a traffic light there, keep an eye on it. Next video, I'll probably wind up undoing it, but whatever. And then I wanted to check this guy here. See, this needs to be downgraded to just a 2-lane. It doesn't need to be 4-lane on that side anymore. Which means all those buildings that I rezoned earlier are now going to go away again. Because they're not up against the road, but that's okay. We can put them right back. Just like so. That bus line will figure itself out. Yeah, we'll go ahead and run all the way out to there. And then this side is all just commercial. Actually, we can go to there. There we go. And that bus line, I'll figure it out eventually. He will, trust me. What is... Oh, he's built off of that road. So then we have less roads connecting now. Oh, that cleared up nicely. Cool. Up to... Oh, down to 71%. Whoa, I figured it would be getting better, not worse. Goodness. Yeah, that's kind of surprising. I mean, this is flowing better now. And it's all flowing better now. A little bit of backup getting on the roundabout. Looks like it's people wanting to go straight. And then we've got lane switchers. But part of that is like this guy. See, he's the oil truck that comes with these oil plants. I probably shouldn't have that oil plant so close to the intersection. Probably move him out there. Yeah. That'll solve a little bit of that, not much. And then everywhere else over here, except for right there, seems to be doing okay. So they're coming down here and then what, turn right? So why would you not just stick to that main road then? Why would you turn there? Okay, some are, some aren't. Alright, so 73%. So it looks like we're going to have a traffic repair episode soon. This, I think I might need a traffic light here, but I've got one right there. Well, that traffic light could be the problem, actually. So we'll get rid of that one. See, I put them in and then take them out after I make changes and stuff. Because that was what's causing this to back up. And if this road isn't backed up, these guys should have a chance to get in and out. Yeah, okay, that's what that was. This traffic light right here was causing all that. Yeah, well, you know, that's why you use the traffic tool to see where there's problems. And in this area is just busy. It's a lot of traffic for a 2-lane road, but it does get moving. So we should be doing okay. But I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. Kind of a little bit of a longer one than I try to normally go for. But wanted to get a lot done. So until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.